Hello everyone and welcome to another glorious day here in Gregtech New Horizons, where we certainly did do a lot of Gregtech last episode. We got ourselves 2 new blast furnaces here for steel production, we got some extra coke ovens, we got ourselves some new boilers and water tanks, and we invested in our machine room down here, crafting up a handful of LV machines, we made the steam oven, and using all of that infrastructure we crafted the electric blast furnace, which at this particular moment is completely useless for us because we can't power this thing. And sure, I did say that we were going to fix all of those issues today, but instead we're going to invest in some Thaumcraft. Before we can dive into the magic though, we do have to invest in one more LV machine. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to getting into some Thaumcraft here. And I will admit that I am no expert. I've got intermediate knowledge when it comes to Thaumcraft, I would say. But still, it is a lot of fun. So we're going to make the extruder here. And so for us to get our very first wand, and therefore the Thaumonomicon, which is crucial to Thaumcraft progression, we do need to get our hands on some Naga scales, and also operate the blast furnace for aluminium, but that's a separate issue. And if we're going to be fighting in the Twilight Forest, I would ideally like to get a ranged weapon. Let's just put our extruder like here for now. And no question about it, the best ranged weapon we can get our hands on right now is the crossbow. So there's basically 2 parts to the crossbow, there's the bolts and the crossbow itself. We are going to make these fletchings out of slimy leaf. You can get them just by shearing some slimy trees with shears. Oh yeah, that's right, we're going to need some more blank patterns, which means we need paper. I don't think there's an easy way for us to get paper unless we have a chemical bath. I think the best way right now is to use the water bucket method. And this should allow us to get the patterns, yeah. Yeah, and we also somehow have to get our hands on some carbon. We can do that by centrifuging dark ashes. This gives us carbon dust, which we can compress. And we can put it through the extruder for a carbon crossbow limb. I think now we're ready to start piecing this thing together. So we have our carbon crossbow limb. I made an obsidian tough binding, which we can make in the smeltery. We have the fiery bowstring, which you can make out of flame string. They drop from spiders in the nether. And lastly, the crossbow body we're going to make out of slime crystal. Also, that is a pretty cool looking crossbow. But we do need the bolts to be able to fire in it, right? So we have the fletching already, we need the bolt core. So to do that, we are also going to make a regular tool rod out of slime crystal. And then we're going to tip this with alumite in the smeltery. This should give us the bolt core. Yeah, look at that, 900 durability and 0% break chance. Then combined with the fletching and we should have our alumite bolts. Nice. Oh yeah, and one of the other things you might notice here is that the bolts are not infinite. We do lose one every time we fire, obviously, unless we go and pick it up, but that's not always possible in combat. So, in the Steam Age chapter, there is actually this flint and steel reward for a ball of moss. This thing will slowly recharge the bolts over time, but we do need a modifier to apply it. We can add a block of gold and a diamond. And now that we have the moss trait, unless we're going absolutely crazy with a crossbow, we should have infinite bolts, more or less. And later on when we go to swap the parts on the bolts, I believe it does give it more base ammo overall. Oh yeah, if you're interested in the material specifics on the crossbows, or any other tool for that matter, there is the spreadsheet that's linked in every single episode. So yeah, this crossbow is not the best in the game. We can certainly improve this over time as our technology level increases, but I think it's at least the best we can do at this point in the game. So yeah, now I think we're ready for some combat. I say as I'm wearing absolutely no armor whatsoever, but hopefully we can keep people at a distance with this setup. And what we're looking for is not a skeleton. Let's see how good this thing is. Okay, it's not one shot, but I think these are the brutish ones with more HP. And I missed. 2 shots. 3 shots for a brutish skeleton. Oh, should we take on the maze? I'm told that we can get some actually really decent loot in here if we're lucky. But there is wolves and poisonous spiders, if I remember correctly. Yep. Okay, let's just take a small peek. Nothing valuable here. Maybe it's not worth it. Nope. Especially since we're not wearing any armor, I don't think it's worth risking our lives in there. Those guys always scare me. Supreme pizza, I'll take that. And an uncommon bag. Alright, what do we get in our treasure here? You know, the Twilight Forest makes me so nostalgic. I don't know why. No, we're just here for the first boss today. Maybe the second, we'll see. There he is, there he is. Oh yeah, and I just remembered, there is also this equipment slot, which we should be able to put the crossbow into, as well as the ammo. And then there's a hotkey for it, yeah. This way it doesn't take up any inventory space. Okay, I don't think this guy's gonna give us any trouble. Okay, one more hit. There we go. And the quest. Awesome. Nice, and he even dropped 8 Naga scales, which is exactly what we need. Mission accomplished. Alright, so what we need to do now is get this blast furnace operational. The last thing we need to get our wand is 4 aluminium screws. So just for right now, we're going to borrow some of the turbines that used to service our LV machines. So as part of the blast furnace, we have 2 LV energy hatches. These things can support up to 2 amps. And remember, these turbines can output 1 amp each. Oh yeah, that's a live steam pipe right there. So 2 turbines are going to output 2 amps. We need at least 2x cable here. And that's going to send all of the energy into one of the energy hatches. And we're going to mirror the setup on this side. And if you guys saw the previous episode, you'll know that 4 LV amps equals 1 MV amp, because it's always a 4-to-1 conversion. And we do have to pay attention to that, because for aluminium, we do need at least 128 U per tick. So 4 times 32 gives us 128. We don't have to worry about cable loss, because the cable is only a single block. So all 32 volts are going to make it into the energy hatch here. However, before we can start to turn this thing on, as you can see, it has problems. And don't we all? And to fix those problems, we do need some tools. Either that or we make the Gregtech Aerospace Advanced Reinforced Duct Tape, FAL-84. And I was about to say the EBF quest gives it as a quest reward, but it's actually a choice between 3 LV loot bags or the tape. How difficult is it to make this? I mean, it's just some carbon, really. We do need polyethylene though. And if we don't take that quest reward, we're going to have to make the soldering iron, which I guess we will need eventually, right? But this, oh my goodness, this takes a lithium battery. And we don't have lithium yet, or a cannon machine, or any battery. You know what? We're going to take the tape here. Yeah, so this is where the maintenance hatch on the EBF comes in. We can apply the tape to the maintenance hatch, and it should have cleared all the problems here. That is only a temporary solution though. Maintenance can occur on multi-blocks at any point randomly, and if you have maintenance, it has a chance to void the recipe, so it's very important that you try to reduce maintenance as much as you can. And there is ways to deal with it later down the line, but that's not for hundreds of hours, maybe thousands of hours. Anyways, what we need to do here is melt some aluminium gravel. And you know, since we're waiting here, we have 4 LV bags to open. I did claim some quest rewards there. What a scam. We got some cheeseburgers, deluxe cheeseburgers, and an iron drill. That's awful. And we also have some steam bags here, which we can actually convert within the quest book. Now that we've unlocked LV, we can turn in 3 steam age loot bags for 1 LV bag. I don't even... Booster tracks? Oh, come on. Okay, so there's no way to make aluminium ingots directly in the smeltery. It gives us raw aluminium. And this is what we toss through the EBF. So hopefully things don't void here. To get this recipe to run without a fluid, we do need circuit 1, and I believe now with the recent update you can do it in the input hatch here, and smack it with a soft mallet. Aha, 65 seconds, uh-oh. Oh no, it voided it. Oh, I see the problem. Look at this, you guys spot it? This turbine isn't plugged in right there, that would do it. Okay, second time's a charm. All we have to do is keep this running for 60 seconds and it should produce us aluminium. Looks like there is still steam in the pipes, nothing else in the base is running, so we should actually be golden here. Aha! There we have it, aluminium. We do at least need 2 for the wand, which we can turn into bolts and then into screws. And with our 2 Naga scales, we've now unlocked Thaumcraft. Awesome, so now we need to get our Thaumanomicon. I think it's with a bookshelf, right? And this gives us the Thaumanomicon, and this is a big research minigame. Yeah, for any of you guys familiar with Thaumcraft, this is what takes like hundreds of hours. Just researching stuff. So for us to get any further in Thaumcraft, we have to find the 6 unique shards found within the Twilight Forest: fire, water, earth, air, entropy, and order. And the first 2 we came across was water and fire. They spawn in groups of 2 within ore veins in the Twilight Forest. I made sure to grab at least 2 stacks and then went back to pick up the Ore Finder wand. We can use Cinnabar since Cinnabar will spawn along with all of the shards. And so the next ones we found was Perdicio and Ordo. However, I had to find actually 2 of these since there wasn't quite enough Perdicio that spawned in the first. And finally, once again, we found air and terra, the last two shard types. After making it back to the base, I processed the ores into shards, and that gave us the Thaumcraft quest. What was to follow was basically me running around the base trying to process materials in the correct order. We made things like brass, we collected some cobalt from electrolyzing cobaltite, I collected up some aluminium, and that gave us something called cobalt brass. We made the cobalt brass into a gear, surrounded with some diamond to give us a cutting saw, and then crafted that into the cutting machine. We used the cutting machine to cut down diamond, put the diamond plate through a lathe for a lens, and the lens, along with the shards we found and some gold casing, can give us the thermometer. Yeah, there's going to be a test here at the end of the episode. I hope you guys followed all of that. No, that was quite a lot, but we have unlocked the next quest here in Thaumcraft. We need some rubber rounds. Yeah, Thaumcraft is going to be a very large ongoing project in this world, and not something we're going to take on all at once. What am I even looking for here? I'm getting so lost, as I'm sure you guys probably are as well. Yeah, we need to make some glass bottles, and it's not really so simple in this pack actually. We can do it in the forming press, we can do it in the fluid solidifier. I think we want this mold, right? Yeah, now we cover it in steel. Now we should be able to craft this into the Thaumcraft version. Yeah, the file. I don't really know why we got that quest now for the hammer. I'll take it though. We need some ink sacs and we need some feathers. And this is going to give us scribing tools. We'll make a couple because these do have durability. Ah yeah, we are also going to have to get paper for this. Okay, I did grab some paper. We can actually use the cutting machine to make some slabs here. And one other thing about the cutting machine is it does take either lubricant or water to run. Lubricant improves the speed of all recipes by a significant margin, so it's definitely worth using. However, as you can see here, it doesn't really use a whole lot. It's like 1 litre per recipe. I don't really know why the game uses litres. It's effectively equivalent to millibuckets. It's just the way that Gregtech measures it. There's our quest. Yeah, so we craft the table and we should be able to turn this into our arcane workbench. One of them into an arcane workbench. I think we need one more actually for... Yeah, is it one more and then we put the scribing tools on this? Yes, there we go. We've got the research table and the arcane workbench. So my goal for today is just to unlock all of the aspects. We're going to be coming across a lot of new materials in Gregtech and so on. And all of them we can scan with this thermometer. Doing that is going to allow us to discover all of the aspects here. Some are primal and some are compound aspects. Or in other words, a combination of the primal aspects. And then we can use these research points to research different recipes, and that unlocks different goodies for us within Thaumcraft. But there's a specific order and things are quite obscure in the way that you unlock it. So yeah, we have to go through this list here. I already have the first 3, the next one is a glass block. And unfortunately we don't have the add-on where you can scan everything in a chest. You have to like scan it one by one here. Please tell me we have some glass here. We do. Yeah, that is what, vitreous I think? Next one is a trapdoor, then a chest, then a glass block. Oh, that is grass block. I read it as glass block. I guess you can do some of them out of order. A lot of the items we can't actually scan at all right now because we don't have the understanding to actually scan it. Yep, there is our trapdoor. It's going to be a lot of crafting as well. And we have discovered Motus, which should allow us to unlock different things which have Motus. You get the idea, right? I'm going to go through this whole list, at least as far as we can go. I don't think we have an ender pearl though. Or a gas tier for that matter. But that's why it's good to get this stuff early on. Where are all of the chickens when you need them? We need to scan one here for research. And I promise you, there was a creeper explosion here. These guys are just nowhere to be found anymore. There's one. Take that, chicken. Probably all of these shards. Aha. Okay, that's enough. You guys get the idea, right? I'll see you in a bit. Alright, lots and lots of knowledge gathered, but I think it's time we put down Thaumcraft for this episode at least. We have made a decent start and it's something that we'll continue to work on. At least we have the ability to scan new items. And new items is exactly what we're going to work on right now. So there's 2 major goals I would like to get before the end of this episode. We're going to progress a bit through LV since we need to unlock some more technologies, really to progress through anything. And yes, I'm aware this base is a bit of a mess. I've been trying out some other stuff, crafted up a lot of new blocks just to try and experiment. We're going to do like a whole segment on base building in a future episode, but right now we need to progress a little bit. So the 2 major things I'd like to get this episode is the basic circuit assembler. This is going to give us a cheaper way of producing circuits. And that's very important when it comes to Gregtech because we need a lot of circuits for basically everything. And the second goal I have for today is the magnet, the dislocator. Magnets, as Jesse Pinkman would say. I'm not going to finish that though, but magnets also requires us to get things like a cannon machine, lithium, batteries, all the stuff we put off earlier in the episode. So yeah, it's going to be quite a lot that we're going to undertake here for the rest of this episode. We're basically just getting started here. Aha, so after digging around the nether, we managed to find ourselves a tetrahedrite vein. Actually, we got two right next to each other here. But this is good, not only does this give us copper, tetrahedrite ore smelts directly into 2 copper ingots, and we're kinda short on copper. Also mixed into this vein is stibnite ore, which is something that we need for our batteries today. So you guys know what time it is, right? It's time to dig another hole. Only this time, no singing. No, not today. I didn't expect so many of you guys to comment on that actually. Okay, so I might have overestimated our abilities this episode, we'll see. This is Gregtech New Horizons. There is an element of chance in here actually. So I did go mining, of course, in the nether. I also went to gather a salts vein. And within the salts vein you can get lepidolite. If we centrifuge impure lepidolite, we get a chance at lithium. This is what we need for our batteries. Also, one more loot bag. Another pizza, what is with all this pizza? Okay, what we need to do right now is batch up a bunch of circuits. That's really the main thing I've been working on. I think we've got enough for 24 circuits? 27 circuits. Hopefully this is the last batch we need to create this inefficient way. Oh my goodness, this feels so good. Expensive, but it's good. Oh yeah, look at all of this ore chest out of the output of the smelter. This is crazy. Also, did they remove the recipe for tetrahedrite in the BBF? I'm sure that used to be a thing. It must have got removed, right? Oh yeah, look at all of this in here as well. What we need right now is the antimony, which we got from the stibnite, and we need to make this dust, so we want to put it through the grinders again. That's also the quest. We can then mix lead and antimony together in the mixer, and this gives us battery alloy. Hopefully this is going to be enough. Oh no, I just realized we're going to be blocked here by the quest book. Oh, this is what we get for thinking ahead. So once we create our batteries here, it asks us to get lithium, and we need to hold all of this salt ore. But we just processed all of our salt ore, so we might have to go... Do we have any lithium by now? We do. Yeah, we need it in ore form. We are going to have to fix that issue, but let's make our batteries first of all. I think it's just like this for the LV bat. No, that's too simple. Of course there's tools involved. Okay, we can get 12 right now. There's a little more battery alloy being processed. And the quest. So the batteries can be filled with a variety of different items, including cadmium, sodium, lithium, sulfuric acid, or mercury. These two ones with the gases are non-reusable. So we should just try to get the best one, which is lithium. And we do need to fix that quest, so let me gather a bit more lepidolite here. Hopefully there is enough. And there's the quest. Perfect. Okay, we have way too much copper right now, so what we're going to do is actually proactively start batch crafting stuff. We're going to make like 5 stacks of wire. Actually, it's going to be 10 because we get 1 to 2. We're going to crush like 10 stacks into dust. And that should allow us to make things like red alloy and bronze. It's always a good idea to make things proactively. Yeah, like more tin wire or tin cable. I'm always making rubber here in the chemical reactor. So yeah, to fill our batteries, what we're going to need to do is make a cannon machine. I think we're just missing a few components here. There we go, our next LV machine. Not the quest though, because we need our lithium, which we have 13. This should be 2 quests. I believe it's 2 lithium per battery. At least for the small batteries. There is medium and large batteries too. And like mega large batteries once we get to the higher tiers. But yeah, the LV one can hold 100,000 EU. Actually not such a bad deal. And to get the magnet, one of our quests this episode, we do need to get something called the polarizer. which should be pretty simple to craft here. Doesn't even cost a circuit. So what the polarizer allows us to do is make things like magnetic iron rods. It saves us having to use 4 pieces of redstone, instead it costs us no redstone. All it costs is some EU to run. We're going to make some magnetic steel rods and magnetic steel blocks, which should be in the compressor over here. 57 seconds per recipe. That's nowhere near as bad as the diamond was earlier on. That was like 500 seconds for one lathe recipe. It's insane. However, with the magnetic steel and 1 lithium battery, we can get our item dislocator. And the next quest of the day. Magnets. Yes, magnets. And this can also go in the same slot as the crossbow. So we can like enable it with this. It doesn't even take up an inventory slot, which is good. I think this is a ghost item. So now anything we throw on the ground, we're going to immediately pick up. And it's easy to toggle as well. Nice. And we even get an enchanted loot bag from this. What did that give us? Was it tin cabled? I think we had that, right? Oh, it's on the floor. It's on the floor here. Typhoon. I think these are arrows, right? Not the same as the bolts we crafted. So do you guys remember when we went to... Oh, that is a big magnet on our side right there. You guys remember when we went to the Nether the first time and I said we would need a lot of sphalerite once we hit LV? Well, today is that day and I appear to have used it all. I think what happened was I put it all through the furnace for zinc. We needed zinc for something or other. I think it was brass. And what we actually should have done is electrolyze the dust. One more quest and 1 more LV machine to add to our collection, which we don't really have space for. I'm thinking we move the blast furnace, but I'm going to wait until it has maintenance issues because we don't have any more tape to fix it. And we can put at least 1 more line of LV machines here. Oh my goodness, this is turning into such spaghetti. Don't worry though, we are going to fix it eventually. So from here on, I just performed some basic maintenance on the base, refilling some of the chests, processing some of the materials that need processed. I made sure to refill the blast furnaces, and for right now we are actually just voiding the creosote oil that comes out of the coke ovens. We are going to sort out a solution for that, but right now we just need to keep making charcoal. I started to process what little sphalerite we already had, and went out to the Nether to find another sulfur vein. I picked up an extra 2 stacks or so of ore, which should turn into a couple of stacks at least. It's currently processing. But yeah, I noticed that we already have a little bit of gallium. This is the precious dust that we're after out of this sphalerite. 9.17% chance to get this thing, and we already have 4. That is some pretty good luck, honestly. Alright, so let's see what we need to do next in our quest here. And this is the part actually that I'm not so familiar with. It did actually get changed between versions here. Let's see, we're also looking for Realgar. And yeah, the early game is kind of like this. You're kind of chasing scraps of resources, but the fun thing about Gregtech is that once you get more technology, it actually becomes much easier because there's way easier ways to get all of this stuff. Eventually, when we have more machines. You know, the good thing about Thaumcraft is we should be able to get torches that prevent mob spawns. Every time I walk out of any of those doors, I'm always so scared. And there's been so many close calls. Like that guy. Get away from me. I just want to wash this sphalerite, please. I don't think he sees me. Yeah, we're safe, So all of this Realgar that we have like 14 in total. We can also centrifuge, and this is going to give us something called arsenic. It's going to take a minute. Okay, this is extremely janky, but we are going to have to run the blast furnace again today. So we need our gallium and we need the arsenic. And we can't afford to take any chances here because these 2 dusts right here took us hours to get just this amount. So let's maybe just do 1 at a time. Let's actually sleep, just so we can make sure we have enough steam. Okay, we're cooking. And 60 seconds later, we got gallium. Oh, there's some aluminium in here. We got gallium arsenide crystals. Okay, what do we do with this? I think pulverize? Yeah, we pulverize this into dust. And what we are ultimately trying to make with this is diodes for MV circuits. The MV circuits are used in the circuit assembler, and this is how we can make cheaper MV and LV circuits. So we are going to need some molten glass. I think I have to hook up the turbines again. Oh my goodness, this is extremely cursed. Hey, why you no work? You should have power. Oh no way, this is an MV recipe? Yeah, that's something we have to pay attention to. That's actually caught me off guard a few times, especially when making all the Tinker's tools. I think we can only make this in the smeltery right now as molten glass, and take it out with a bucket. Then we want to turn this gallium arsenide into small piles, and craft in the assembler with copper wire and the molten glass on circuit 4. Oh right, the turbines, the power. We want to make as few of these as possible because we do eventually unlock a cheaper recipe. The quest does call for at least 8. There it is, the diodes. I have also been making some phenolic circuit boards. This is the step up to the regular circuit boards that we have been using at LV. We have to coat these with gold wire, and gold is something that we're going to be extremely short on. It's not so easy to get before HV, so again, we want to be conservative with the number that we make here. Maybe even this is too much. There is also the next quest. Man, these are flying in today. And now we've unlocked the ability for us to make the first MV circuits, the first 4. This is a huge step up for us technologically. Nice. Actually, we shouldn't have made all 4, right? That 4 was... Oh no, we need 4 for the quest, okay. Yeah, we want to make as few as possible, of course, because we are about to unlock the circuit assembler, which actually is the last thing we have to do. I've been making up some more brass. Let's toss this in the lathe. And we should have some Ceres here. Yes, we do. So we need to make an LV sensor. There's our quest. You're going to hate this 6. As well as the emitter, which takes 2 more LV circuits. This is the reason I batch crafted so many earlier on. 2 more quests, and that should have unlocked the circuit assembler. All we're missing is 2 conveyors and a robot arm. I mean, we should be able to manage this, right? Aha, the circuit assembler. And our quest. Now then, where are we even going to put this thing? Let's put it right here. We can admire it right in the middle of the floor. That is also our second objective completed for today. And also marks the end of today's episode. That was a big milestone that we got today. And yes, there is still a lot of cleaning up around this place to do. I feel like I'm going to be saying that for a while, but you know, one step at a time. Anyways, I think I'm going to work on some Thaumcraft research between episodes. I did manage to unlock quite a lot of the aspects here. I think we must only be missing 1 or 2 at this point. Anyways, that is going to do us for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Gregtech New Horizons.